Alright, so all those was about built-in directives in Angular. By beginning, remember I told you that we can also create our own custom directives. So how do we go about it, creating our own custom directive? Let's get rid of this guy here and just do something like tutorials camp.com. Okay, let's do something like that. And I've got alright, this guy here, that was the previous video, so get rid of it. Okay, get rid of it. And now if you run our browser, you can see you have gotten tutorials camp only. So what we want to do is to create our own custom directive, and the way we create a custom directive, we can use the command line to generate it instead of retyping everything ourselves. So let's see the code for it. ng generate directive, and there come the name of your directive name. So I want to say change color because I want to change some element in the in the browser. So you can call it whatever color you actually want. Go ahead and hit enter, and it's working, it's working, it's working, it's working, it's working. It will take some few time, and it will generate a directive for me with some couple of files, right? So ng generate the directive color. I think I have to wait a while. Alright, so guys, check this out. We have gotten two files right here, which is color.directive.spec.ts, being out the background watching, and change.color directive.ts, our main directive file. And also remember, the app model.ts has been what updated. What got updated here is just our what directive, and it is registered in where we what register component and what pipes. So now we can actually go ahead and then do something and work on it. So what do we want to do? We want this element right here to what to change. We want to use directive to change its color. So go to the directive, go to the directive that we just created, which is change, where is it, change directive.ts. Alright, so change directive.ts, and the way we do that, inside here, this directive oh boy, no, bad. Alright, go to the up directive again, adjustment, that was not what I wanted. So we see we are actually importing directive from what Angular core. Remember, directive is just a class. So what made it a directive? We use this directive decorator, and we import it from what the directive, the core as what directive. So inside this directive decorator is where we define the properties of what our directive. So this selector right here is nothing but what the name of what our directive. So this directive right here, what am I talking about? Remember I told you directive, we use them inside what attribute. Like when we were doing the if statement, we have something like ng if, right? Ng if, yes. So this is a built-in Angular directive. Now we have defined our own custom directive what here with this name. So if you want to use that directive, you go with this name instead of what star ng if. So now we have created our directive with a name, but our directive actually does not do anything. Remember, it doesn't do anything, right? So actually remember, it doesn't do anything. So what we want to do it is to what change the color of this component, this element right here. So how are we actually going to reference this element in our change directive? We use something called element reference. So let's import element reference, right? Element reference is nothing, it's a class that give you access to what all the reference to all the what the DOM elements in your template, right? So whichever properties you go with will be assigned to the reference that we are talking of. What am I talking of? Let me show you here. So let's create a property with a type of element reference in our constructor. So let's start something like gl for element reference and of type element reference, right? So what do you want to do inside our constructor? What you want to do is you want to change. Remember, this el here now represent an object of element reference, and it actually means the this. So see this el here as what the element that this directive will be attached to. So if the directive is going to be attached to this p paragraph, then this p paragraph right here is what this g here. So what do we want to do is, if this gl here is the paragraph tag, so what do we want to do to the paragraph tag? We want to change the color of it. So el dot native element dot star dot color equal to red. So we just want to change the color of it. Is it color or color? Alright, so it's color, right? El dot native element, it was element equal to what? Right, native element is the a paragraph element right here. So how are you actually going to tell Angular that this is the directive that we want to the element that we want to change its color? We can only do that when we apply the directive name to it. So copy the directive name, go here, and then bam, there we go. Finish. Let's run it in the browser and let's see what we got. There we go. tutorialscamp.com. Pretty simple. That's how you create a custom directive in Angular 10. It's really easy and simple. The only catch here is to know how to create an Angular directive, and the way we do it, we use ng generate directive, and then the directive name, and you will get three fast changes here. The first one will be the spec of the directive. Don't bother about it. It's just a file at the background watching whatever is going on in your directive. And this create a directive for TypeScript craft for you, where you be define the functions of your directive. And after that, the model app.model.js is going to update your directive, import it, and register it. Pretty simple. So you go ahead and inside your directive, this what make this class here a directive. So you define the properties of the directive inside this function of object. So the selector right now here is the name of your directive. So whichever element you want to apply this directive to, you go with it this selector, and here we create an element and reference of object of type of element reference. Remember, element reference give you access to reference or the DOM element in your template. So once you have created an object of type of element reference, you can actually use it to access all the DOM element right here. We use native element. Element reference as a type called native. It's a class. This is a class. It has a type, a property in its class called native reference. That native reference allows to assign other functionalities to the element that you want to actually do something to. Alright, so then how will Angular know that in case you have more than elements here, like other p tag here? How will Angular know that this is the first one is the element you want to apply this directive to? You only do that by applying, copying the name of the directive and applying it to it, right? So imagine these guys here, they have gotten no directive assigned to it. You will see that the color of them will be black, but only the top one which the directive is applied to will be white, so will be red, right? So it is simple. All right, that is it too. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.